What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Alex. Today I'm going to be talking about the sixth installment in the Predator universe, at least the sixth mainline installment. It's the eighth if you count Alien vs. Predator and Alien vs. Predator 2. This is once again directed by Dan Trachtenberg, who directed 2022's Prey, which was really good and got the Predator series back on track. This is Predator, Killer of Killers. This original animated anthology follows three of the fiercest warriors in human history: a Viking raider guiding her young son on a bloody quest for revenge, a ninja in feudal Japan who turns against his samurai brother in a brutal battle for succession, and a World War II pilot who takes to the sky to investigate an otherworldly threat to the Allied cause. I really loved Prey. As I said, it got the Predator series back on track after a couple of misfires. That original Predator is still so good, it will never be topped. Even Prey won't top it, in my opinion, although that may change on rewatch. Who knows? I might come out of my next rewatch of the Predator series being like, Prey is better than the original Predator, but two Predators and the Predator, some of them have their merits, not the Predator, but they're just nowhere near as good as that first film, and they were probably never going to be. Predator's one of those movies that never needed a sequel, but here we are with a prequel, three sequels, now an anthology movie in animated form, and I wasn't sure how I felt about there being an animated Predator movie. I always thought that these should have stayed as live action, and it does take a minute to adjust to the fact that you are watching a Predator movie that is animated. It toys with your eyes for a few minutes, and then once you see certain characters starting to move around, it looks really natural and it looks really good. And I totally forgot that this was even in animation. It felt like a live action movie, hand drawn and animated as if it was mimicking the live action movie, like shot for shot, move for move, everything, which makes Predator Killer of Killers a badass fucking movie. This shit was awesome. I have a couple of qualms, one I just stated, but this is awesome. I had a lot of fun with Predator Killer of Killers. It's such a fun, unique take on Predator. Dan Trachtenberg continues to do that. He continues to explore other unique ways to bring the Predator into this universe. I like the concept, him just putting the Predator in so many different timelines in human history. Like, for instance, we have the Vikings, the Scandinavian Viking, who are seeking revenge. Then you fast forward to the 1600s to the samurai, who seek honor. And then you go to World War II for Navy pilots that seek bravery. Those themes are all in this movie, and it's awesome. And I love that they each fight unique Predator designs. It's not the same Predator that they're fighting throughout the entire movie. They're different Predators, and they all have their unique designs, which makes me kind of get more on board with the design for Predator and Predator Badlands. I think that still kind of looks stupid. I'm not sold on the design still, but I'm kind of getting on board a little bit more now, since we have seen in this movie, and I forget if we saw a couple of other like various different Predators in the past few movies, but yeah, seeing different designs for the Predators makes me get on board with how they're doing Predator Badlands. I'm not fully there, but I'm starting to kind of get it, if you know what I mean. And all the characters are awesome. They all have their badass moments. It's full of gore, bloodshed, and brutality. Feels visceral. They're just hacking and slashing their way through predators and trying to fight people and other opposing forces. It's so layered, and I didn't really expect it to be so layered, especially for a movie that is only 85 minutes and you have 20-minute segments you spend with each of these characters, which could be to the movie's detriment, because I do feel as if I don't think the structure itself, having this be an anthology like format, telling three different stories over the course of almost an hour and a half, and how it all ties back together, is necessarily the problem. I loved all that as well. I just think that sometimes it feels like it rushes itself along. By that, I mean, right as we are getting endeared to these characters, even after something happens, even after they kill an enemy that they're supposed to be going after, it just feels like that there's so much emotional weight for these characters that is dragging them down and is going to set them on a quest to try and redeem themselves, it cuts to the next segment. Then you have to get on board with a whole new set of characters, and that same thing happens where it feels like there's an emotional core that is forming there with you as the viewer and the characters that you're watching, and then it'll cut to the next segment, and it kind of does the same thing all over again. It's rinse and repeats. If you didn't know that this was an anthology format, especially when the first one happens in Scandinavia, that's the first one in 841 AD, when you see a character agonizing over the previous events, you're thinking to yourself, all right, this is going to be a badass Predator movie set in Scandinavia in Viking times. Let's go! Why are we in 1609 now? That's what I mean. It feels like it rushes itself over a little bit. It feels like it breezes over a few emotional elements, which makes me believe that maybe this should have just been two intertwined stories. Maybe like two short films, like half in Scandinavia and then half in like the samurai era or World War II, whatever it may be. But I think how it all wraps up, how this all comes together, is actually really, really well done. And it kind of makes up for all of that missing emotional arcs and the emotional cores that you're trying to form with the characters. And it just leads to a really badass finale and an Easter egg in the mid-credit scene where I was just like, oh shit. And I like that it connects back to previous Predator movies, and just seeing a whole army of Predators coming at everybody and fighting all these different various monsters from the Predator world. Gory, bloody Predator violence that we all love. This is why we're watching these new Predator movies. This is why Dan Trachtenberg has such a grasp on Predator. He could take so many unique ideas, make something really unique out of them, and make them really cool and get you on board for what he's going to do next. And it makes me even more excited now for Predator Badlands. I just wish that they didn't cut away from the characters when they were having their emotional arcs and trying to set up what exactly their emotional arc is going to be as quick as they did. I just wish we had a little bit more time with some of these characters, and maybe this could have focused, maybe they could have just done 3 movies released all on the same day, focusing on each character, and then at the end of the 3rd movie they all come together and fight predators. That could have been something interesting, because I do think that these characters needed more time. Just as you're getting endeared to them, it cuts to the next segment, and it kind of takes away from that emotional core as a viewer, but it's still a really, really fun time. Predator Killer of Killers is worth watching with a full bucket of popcorn. These predators are like tax collectors, man. They hunt their prey and that's it. So if you have seen Predator Killer of Killers, it's out now on Hulu. I wish this was in theaters, because this would have rocked in theaters. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden. I know I said that I would have a 007 First Lights gameplay reaction today. That is not going to happen, because apparently IO Interactive's presentation just featured the trailer again. And the only thing we found out is the Bond girl's name. That's it. But you guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.